Good morning, welcome to the Married and Blessed podcast.
Hello.
My name is André Ferguson.
I'm Armelle Ferguson.
This is a podcast where we discuss our experiences as a married couple. Finally, Mrs. Ferguson. So what are we discussing today?
So today, the topic that we decided to discuss with you is how do you know that you found the one?
How do you know that you found the one? How did you know you found the one?
Well, I can't just sum it up in one sentence, otherwise there is no point having the whole episode.
Why not? You should say, well, you were handsome.
You were handsome.
Or you were charismatic.
You were charismatic.
Okay, I can't tell you everything. You will figure out what you understand.
Right, I just want to start with a few stats that I found online, because Google is my very good friend.
And you're a bit of a nerd.
Also, yes. So let me just take this for you. So between 1965, sorry, I was gonna start giving numbers in French. Between 1965. So between 1965 and 2015, the marriage rate in the EU dropped from approximately 8% to 8 per 1,000 people to 4 per 1,000 people.
Right, say that again.
So the marriage rate dropped from 8 per 1,000 people to 4 per 1,000 people. So it's half.
Right.
Okay.
Over what period of time?
Between 1965, which is pretty much my mom's generation, to 2015.
Right.
Interestingly, the divorce rate went doubled from approximately 1 per 1,000 people to 2 per 1,000 people in that same period of time. Right. So what do you think about that?
Well, it's evident to me just based on society, without Google being my friend. We just don't have time for it. We live in a disposable society, and people throw away relationships, like they throw away, food that they don't want or clothes that they don't wear anymore. So people just don't try hard enough. As soon as something relationship in this case, gets a little bit too complex, a little bit challenging, you throw that person away, you move on to the next person. Yeah,
but I don't know, because a lot of living together type of relationships, these numbers are increasing. So is it that people don't believe in marriage, just marriage in itself? Or because people still get together and, there are more and more children in the world. So people obviously still have children. They just don't bother with getting married.
Having children doesn't mean you're committed to that individual you had a child with.
True.
It just means you have a child with an individual. And the common law marriage, which is what you're referring to, people living together, is, yes, you can live with somebody and not be committed to them. So I think the problem is... you haven't
found the one. You don't believe it's the one.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Yeah.
They work well for now, but if I do decide to marry this man or marry this woman, what's going to change? And, depending on what culture you're from, if you're from my culture, you're told that once you get married, things change. People get comfortable and, they don't try hard enough, and, the rollers go in the hair and the big bloomers come out and, they drag their feet around the house. So, it's many reasons that might be a little bit funny, but not as serious. But there's many reasons why people choose not to commit, and commitment is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, people definitely have a problem with commitment in this day and age.
Instagram age.
Yeah. Well, even before Instagram, I mean, I do have friends. They've been living with somebody for almost 10 years. They have children with them, and I tell them, well, when are you gonna propose to her? They're like, me? I'm like, well, you've already committed for your whole life. You're linked to that person for the rest of your life because you have children. You live together, and you think that getting married is too much of a commitment, but you've already made massive commitments.
Yeah, but is this friend a man or a woman?
It's a guy.
Yeah, but it's different for us.
What? Why?
Well, we don't have to have a child. just because I have a child with you doesn't mean I'm burdened with a child. For want of a better phrase, I'm not saying that children are a burden, but if we have a child together, you know, you and I have a child, you know, historically the child stays with mommy.
Yeah, right? When something goes wrong.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I'm still free in essence, because if our relationship breaks up, I move out, whatever. I just need to come and visit my child or have them on the weekend, or it's purely a matter of commitment. It's just, okay, I've signed this contract and I'm in. Then divorce is more expensive than marriage. You know, that's how men think. Well, some men. Thankfully, I don't think like that, maybe.
Thankfully.
But, you know, it's different for us.
Yeah.
On a purely mental level, we don't think like women think. For women, it's generally, and most importantly, the romantic side of getting married. I'm somebody's wife, you know, he's committed to me for life, and you know, I just need to take care of my husband and my house and my child. For men, it's different. It's trepidation. Like, okay, is she gonna change? What's gonna happen when I marry this woman? You know, we scare ourselves into not committing. Again, thankfully, I'm not one of those guys.
Okay. So I feel like, okay, to go back to the topic, how do you know that you found the one? I think, well, one of the key things as well when you're looking for the one, or when you find somebody and you're asking, is she the one, is he the one, is this person is obviously to be teachable. You need to have this connection with that person as well. Obviously, love is very important. Love is not enough, but it's very important.
It's definitely not enough.
You need to work hard to make it work.
Yep.
Do you think that how important is it to really work hard to make it work?
Well, if you don't work hard on your relationship before marriage, definitely when you get married, it's just not going to work. There's going to be days when you definitely don't like that person. You know, I'm gonna annoy.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're gonna annoy me over the hill, and I'm gonna have to count to 100 instead of 10. You know, and I'm gonna have to say, right, why did I marry this woman?
Oh yes, I remember now.
You remember?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it's one of those things where, you know, you just have to be sure of what your center is. And if you don't know where your center is, then you're gonna struggle. Marriage is work. Relationships are work. You have to every day renew yourself to commit to that person. It's like a relationship with God. You have to renew that every day, and every day you have to, you know, like I don't know if you recognize Mrs. Ferguson, but every morning I take time out to hug you.
Yes.
Spend time, you know, even if it's 2 minutes, you know, take that time to just hold you, tell you I love you, spend a little time, crack a joke, and just remember and just enjoy that moment. When I come home in the evenings, it's exactly the same. Before I start telling you that you should have taken your shoes up out of the hole.
This is a thing as well. So do you think there is actually a one? When you think, how do you know you found the one? Do you think there is actually a one, or if you work hard enough, then whoever you choose to be your one will be your one?
That's a tricky question, because, you know, I can't say yes or no. What I can say is, you know, for me, I remember I've got a friend, Sasha, and Sasha asked me once, okay, Dre, so you're this type of person. Do you need your woman to be this, and this? And I said no. And he was talking about cooking specifically, and I said no, because I'm happy to teach my wife how to cook. I think,
which he did.
I think most importantly, you have to be willing to work at whatever, you know, the shortfalls are. There's no perfect individual. There's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman. I genuinely don't believe that, you know, you're going to find somebody and that's it. You don't have anything else to do. You just click and that's it. You're off. No, I think you have to find ways of building each other up. You have to find ways of helping each other. You know, there's going to be criteria. You have to have something that you're looking for in an individual. You're not just going to pick up Joe Bloggs off the street or Jane Bloggs and go, right, I'm going to make you my wife or make you my husband. That's not going to work.
Transform you in what I
No,
need.
because we can't change people.
Yeah.
You know, you can't change an individual. You can, you know, improve them. You can help them improve themselves, rather. And that's what is important. You know, your partner, your wife, your husband has to be willing to work hard on themselves for you.
And staying on that same lane, you have to be willing to do that as well. So when you're looking for the one, you need to make sure you're the one for somebody. So you need to make sure that you are the best version of yourself, always trying to improve on yourself. I would say if you're a girl and you're trying to be your best self, Proverbs 31 is probably a good start to see. Well, it's aspirational. I'm not saying it's easy.
You haven't told them what Proverbs 31 says it.
Well, just look it up, man.
Does that mean you don't know it?
Well, it's quite long. I don't know it by heart, no. But it's a good start to see what, as a girl you should try and aspire to. I don't really know any man who would say no to a Proverbs 31 woman. Okay, so the homework is Proverbs 31 for you ladies. Make sure you learn Proverbs 31 and be that for your husband. Okay. As my wife said so. What are you saying for guys? How do they try to be the one before they can try and see if somebody's the one for them? I think, like I would say to the guys I work with, the young men I work with, there's certain things you need to have as a man before you start even thinking about a woman. And for the ladies out there, there's certain things that your prospective partner needs to have before you think of him as a prospective partner. So firstly, he has to be a godly man. Firstly, he has to have ambition. Even if he's not working, he has to have a plan. He needs to be focused, driven, and he needs to dress well. Those are my criteria. I have daughters, we have daughters, so like Azara China couldn't bring home a guy with his trousers halfway down his leg. It just wouldn't work. But the most important thing is that man needs to be godly, man. He needs to be in God's presence, and he needs to be able to take care of you. He has to be able to take care of you. He has to be able to protect you. He has to be able to build you up. Build you up. That's important. It says in the Bible that God gave woman to man to wash in the word and present her to himself. Yeah, and I want you to understand that. So I'm supposed to build you up, like wash you down, yeah, build you up in the word and present you to myself. So you're mine. Yeah. But that's after I have been in the presence of God, because I can't do that without the word properly. And that's the deep thing. So those are the criteria I think that a man needs to have first before he starts looking for a woman, and a woman needs to be able to be looking for in a man before she says, okay, that guy is okay for me to start courting. And I'm old school, so I believe in the process of a relationship. I don't believe that you should jump head first into anything. Become that person's friend, and so that you can build up to become that person's boyfriend, and then you can move into a more serious relationship. So yeah, I think this is very good advice for the young people out there trying to see, is she the one, is he the one, or how am I going to find the one? So yeah, I mean, keep that in mind. Yeah, keep that in mind. But also, if you are out there seeking a partner, male or female, then you, first of all, like you said, you have to be that person. I've got friends, I've got friends who will say, I want a good woman. But you're not a good man, so how are you gonna get a good woman? Yeah. And we've got other friends who kind of struggle with identifying what that person looks like. Not aesthetically, but what kind of person do I want? If you don't know the kind of person you want, then you won't know what that person is when you find them. Yeah. So you have to first be emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, most importantly, ready for the relationship you think or say you want. Because otherwise, if that thing
happens, if you do happen to get into a relationship, you're gonna be clueless. It's like hitting you in the face with what you want and you didn't even know it was it.
Yeah.
You know?
This is not fun.
Nah.
Okay. So how did you know you had found the one? How did you actually find the one?
Me?
Did you go through a process or something like that? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look for the one. It just happened to me.
She did.
It just happened to me.
So I was praying, and this is a true story. I was praying to God because, you know, I was doing my thing. And I was praying to God, and I asked God to help me to find a wife. I was genuinely like, okay, I'm ready for a wife. I'm tired of this life and I want to settle down. So I prayed and asked God specifically for what I wanted. And I knew exactly what I wanted. No word of a lie. I needed a curly hair woman, and I'm being vain right now, but stick with me. I needed a curly hair woman. She had to have a big, pretty smile. She had to be super intelligent. Those were my 3 criteria, right?
I have the curly hair. I have the big smile. The other criteria, I'm not sure.
Do you want me to tell the people how intelligent you are?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
It's humility. So no, yes, I asked God for those 3 criteria because I knew everything else was, you know, workable or teachable or whatever. I could learn, you could learn, our prospective wife could learn. And, you know, the story, should we tell the story? No? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's how I
Unless
knew.
the people ask us.
No, that's how I knew you were the one, because you walked in, you had a big pretty smile, you had a big curly hair, and you know, I was it. We had a conversation. I found out how intelligent you were, and I was it. You know, so I just kind of, you know, locked her up quick and fast.
Yeah, quick and fast, as he says. But yeah, I think that's how to know you found the one. You need to, shall we sum it up a little bit? You need to make sure that you are the one, first of all.
Make sure that you're ready.
You're ready.
Yeah. So you are emotionally, mentally, spiritually ready.
Yeah.
For the one. You need to make sure that you are able to identify the one based on the criteria that you are looking for.
So you need to know what you want.
Yes, yeah. You can't put, we didn't say this, but you can't put too many expectations on your prospective partner, because 1, it isn't fair, and 2, nobody's putting expectations on yourself. So it's important to do those things.
And then be able to identify when they actually walk into your life, and after that be able to work on yourself as well. Because you need to be patient when they don't fulfill completely everything.
Definitely need patience.
So you need the patience, you need to be able to teach them, and you need to be teachable as well.
Yeah, as a man, your responsibility, and I'll talk to the men, we can talk to the ladies. As a man, it's your responsibility to lead and teach your wife. That's just your job. Not to say that you can't be taught, because you should be teachable.
Yeah.
As a
do
man,
be humble.
My wife teaches me many things. A lot of the times I try to act like I know. I don't. And she's definitely my backbone when it comes to a lot of things. So you have to be teachable as men, but your responsibility is to lead. That is what your calling is.
For ladies, I know it's difficult, especially in this day and age, but you need to be able to follow your husband's lead. Let him lead, and I promise you that it's actually so comfortable sometimes, because you don't have to, you know, there's a lot of stress and a lot of things that we have to deal with, a lot of things we have to do, and sometimes I'm very happy to just rest and let him lead, and you know, so that I don't have this responsibility as well. Yeah.
I think that's it, baby. I think you hit the nail on the head, and it's a team effort. You know,
It's
we
teamwork.
always say,
it is teamwork.
I live for you, you should live for me, and then I don't have to live for me. My wife takes care of that. I take care of her, and we're good.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today. And for this episode,
Yep.
This is how you know you found the one, and this is how you know that she or he is the one for you.
Please remember to leave your comments.
Yes, do.
We welcome all comments, all feedback. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that bell, as I would say, ring the bell, ding ding. And that's it.
And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Blessed love.